It used to be that people were reticent in the U.S. to say shit about the FBI, to speak out. Now people just don't even give a fuck, dude. They're like, fuck the FBI, dude. They suck dick. Fuck them all. Not all of them, but most of them. I'm just saying. That's how America's feeling right now. Now, someone out there's like, girls, you speak for yourself. Okay, well, I just did. Look, man, we have a serious fucking problem on our hands, and we always have. And you know what's fucking sick about it, man? Is that if you're like me, dude, and you grew up fucking on the West Coast and you come from a traditional American family of warfighters, which I do. Shout outs to warfighters, not just in the U.S., but around the world. Dude, you can't be afraid of your own government, man. You can never, ever be afraid of your own government. You have to remember who you are, man. We're Americans. We're Once or Grove checking in with the American people and our allies. The very fucking moment you're afraid of your government, then you've entered into Stasi territory, man. And that's real shit. And that's one of the things, man, growing up in the United States that a lot of youngsters have to grapple with. Now listen, man, I'm saying this as someone who grew up in gangs. Stay away from gangs, man, if you have an alternative, man. Everybody has an alternative. Everybody has decision tree matrices in front of them, man. People have decisions. It all starts with a node, which goes to a branch of a tree, of a forest, or something like that. It's a little fucking electronic foggy, but that's pretty much the gist of it, man. Nonetheless, I'm not someone here who's here to condone any type of fucked up shit, dude. And I'm not here to, what's the word? Preach to the choir. I'm just simply saying, dude, don't ever be a fucking afraid of any governments, man. That's the antithesis of human life on earth, dude. If you're afraid of your government, man, I feel bad for you. I really do, man. I really fucking do. Because you're not a slave, man, and you need to know that shit. Now, some people are like, Grove, I know that. Well, sadly, not everyone does. And man, some people, hopeless, helpless, fucked up. They feel oppressed. Well, I'm here to say, man, fuck all that noise, dude. Fuck all that. You know? Look, America's a great country. The greatest country on earth. In the context of us. And what we do. We give so much to all these different foreign partners of ours and allies. All these international persons, nation states, peoples world round. And I'm not trying to sound prosaic by any means. I'm not here to peddle any kind of falsehoods or any kind of bullshit. I'm really disappointed in our American Bureau of Investigation. And I'm not like Michelle Obama, who in my opinion is a fucking rotten soul, as is her fucking traitor husband. They're both hateful people, just with disguises on their faces, man. And I know, sadly, man, a lot of people are caught up by the allure of it all. They're like, oh, how dare you? Fuck you, how dare you? I speak. The truth is I see it and as I feel it and I express myself. I don't go with the crowd. I'm not afraid to fucking say how I feel. I never liked Barack Obama. I never liked his wife. I never liked Hillary Clinton. And truth be told, actually, that's not true. So let me back step one pace. When Obama got up on fucking stage when I was in Chicago and I heard him speak for the first time, I was like, who is this motherfucker? And I was like, damn, this dude is eloquent. Man, this guy has an amazing oratory about him. He's very oratorical. Now, I know a lot of people are like, they want to say, he's very well spoken. He's very articulate. Well, I'm a half breed that is hybrid humanoid myself. And saying that someone is articulate is one thing, depending on how it's stated and the intent behind it. It can have negative connotations. His speech was eloquent when I heard it, and I was like, wow, interesting. But unfortunately, like a lot of rhetoric, it was trite, vapid, pedestrian, and honestly, it was fucking utter bullshit, rubbish. He's a fucking piece of shit. James Comey's going to go to prison. I know he is. I know James Comey's going to prison, and he deserves it. James Comey deserves to go to fucking prison like everybody else who's ever gone to prison who deserved to go to fucking prison. He deserves to go to prison like any dirty fucking cop in America. Cops who embarrass their precincts, who embarrass their police agencies, who embarrass the men and women in blue who serve and protect and defend this great nation. And I mean that. And I'm not pandering. I'm saying that as a taxpayer. James Comey, he works for me because I'm an American born and raised. And the reason he was in fucking power with the little fucking piece of shit power that he had is because of your taxpayer dollar and my taxpayer dollar. And he's a fucking fraud, and he's a con man, and he's a charlatan, and he's one of the dirtiest cops ever in U.S. American history. And rather than change the disposition and be something great for America, unlike J. Edgar Hoover, he simply carried the torch for J. Edgar Hoover. He's a rotten fucking piece of garbage, un-American, and I could go on and on and on. Now, if I were his boss, if I were the incoming director of the FBI or chief or fucking head or whatever, FBI motherfucker, the very first thing I would have said when I took an oath and made a vow and took office, assumed my position, role, I would have said, look, I'm going to change some shit, and I don't even give a fuck. I'm not even scared. I have no fucking fear about this shit. Very first thing I'm going to do is see to it that these men and women around me here are dispatched to go and apprehend and arrest the motherfucking traitor to America, James Comey, Robert Mueller, and Andrew McCabe, and they're going to be brought to justice. And we're not going to go light on these fucking traitors to America. They're going to stand trial in the same way that any criminal villains stand trial in America. We're not going to sugarcoat, downplay, minimize any of the shit they did. They are going to be charged and prosecuted to the fullest maximum extent of the law. And they're going to sit and rot in fucking federal prison detention facilities like all the other con men and all the other criminals that we've prosecuted over time. There will be zero leniency for them. They will get no fucking favors. They will eat shit, and hopefully they'll die in motherfucking prison where they fucking belong.